In the last two videos, I discussed the two witnesses, and I made the comparison showing that the two witnesses represent Israel. And I connected that with Zechariah, the two olive branches in Zechariah, and the two women in Ezekiel, Ahola and Aholaba. I show you that the two witnesses, the olive branches, the two whores, or the two women in Ezekiel, all are analogies of Israel being raised up, given power, broken down because they broke the commandments, and then eventually, sometime in the future, be raised up again. The third analogy, the best way to do these videos is to break them down into shorter compartments and people can watch them as they wish. If you put it all in one video, no one's going to watch the whole video. So I've chosen to break these down into individual compartments, and I'm going to even make it even smaller going forward. But the next analogy is the dry bones in Ezekiel. And when you read Ezekiel, you can see that the analogies are plain. He'll say the analogy, give you something visual, descriptive, and then plainly say, this is Israel. In Revelation, it's not so plain. They give analogies, but they don't specifically say, this represents that. It's for you to draw the comparisons because you need to read the Bible in its entirety, and that's how you're going to make these connections. In Revelation, it says, I'm going to give power to my two witnesses, and it goes through the whole list. And now let's read Ezekiel about the dry bones, and I'll make the comparison and show you how they're connected. Let's start by reading Ezekiel chapter 37, verse 1. The hand of the Most High was upon me, and carried me out in the spirit of the Most High, and sat me down in the midst of the valley which was full of bones. And he caused me to pass by them round about, and behold, they were very many in the open field, and lo, they were very dry. And he said unto me, Son of man, can these bones live? And I answered, and I said, Most High thou knowest. And he said unto me, Prophesy unto these bones, and say unto them, O ye dry bones, hear the word of the Most High. Thus saith the Most High unto these bones, Behold, I will cause breath to enter into you, and ye shall live. He's telling you this is a vision. He was carried away in the spirit, means his body wasn't actually there. And he saw a whole vision of this whole valley full of bones. And he says that they were dry, means that they had been dead a long time. And he asked him a question saying, can these bones live? His answer is, only the Most High knows, because if he decides to make them live, they can live. And if he decides not to make them live, they will never live. It's up to him. And that's what Ezekiel is saying. Verse 4. And he said unto me, Prophesy unto these bones, and say unto them, O ye dry bones, hear the word of the Most High. Thus saith the Most High, the Elohim of Israel, unto these bones, Behold, I will cause breath to enter into you, and you shall live. And I will lay sinews on you, and I will bring flesh upon you, and cover you with skin, and put breath in you, and you shall live. And you shall know that I am the Most High. The Most High is saying he will make these bones live one day. When? We don't know. But he's saying that he will do it. And he's telling Ezekiel to go and talk to the bones. Verse 7. So I prophesied as I was commanded, and I prophesied, and there was a noise, and behold, a shaking, and the bones came together, bone to his bone. And I beheld, lo, the sinews, or the joints, the flesh came upon them, and the skin covered them, but there was no breath in them. Then said he unto me, Prophesy unto the wind, prophesy, Son of man, and say to the wind, Thus saith the Most High, the Elohim of Israel, Come from the four winds, O breath, and breathe upon these slain, that they may live. And I prophesied as he commanded me, and the breath came into them, and they lived, and stood upon their feet, an exceeding great army. The Most High does what he says he's going to do. He tells Ezekiel to prophesy over the bones, tell them that they're going to live, and then he does it. First, the prophet tells them, and then it happens. It's not immediate. This is hundreds or thousands of years for this to take place. And when he finally does raise them back up, it's going to be an exceeding great army, powerful. Verse 11, Then he said unto me, Son of man, these bones are the whole house of Israel. Now we know plainly that these bones are Israel. They're not actually bones. They're not actually dead. They're not in a valley. This is just symbolism representing Israel. Now, if you put this book in Revelation, there would be all kinds of theories about it. But here he clears it up very simply. So there's no argument now because he clears it up. Verse 11, Then he said unto me, Son of man, these bones are the whole house of Israel. Behold, they say our bones are dried, and our hope is lost. We are cut off for our parts. Therefore prophesy and say unto them, Thus saith the Most High, the Elohim of Israel, Behold, O my people, I will open up your graves, and cause you to come up out of your graves, and bring you into the land of Israel. And you shall know that I am the Most High, when I have opened up your graves, O my people, and brought you up out of your graves. And I will put my spirit in you, and ye shall live, and I shall place you in your own land. And then you shall know that I, the Most High, have spoken it and performed it, says the Most High. So we see that he says he's going to do it, then he actually does it, And then he explains that this is just an analogy. They're not actually dead. They're not in a valley. They're just dead in spirit. They have no life in them. The commandments are gone and they are broken down as a people. And when you look at them, you're going to say, there's no chance that these people can live. How can they ever be fixed? But the Most High has said he will fix them. So we have no choice but to believe him that eventually the children of Israel will be fixed. Because when I look, I don't see how. But he says he's going to do it, so I believe it. Let's make the connection between this and the two witnesses, right? So the two witnesses says that they would prophesy. Verse 3 in Revelation, it says, I will give power to my two witnesses and they shall prophesy. Verse 7, and when they shall have finished their testimony, the beast that ascends out of the bottomless pit shall make war against them and overcome them and kill them. And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which is spiritually called Sodom and Egypt, where our king was crucified. When it says the beast that ascends out of the bottomless pit shall kill them, we can associate that or connect that with Ezekiel, that their bodies would be in the street. And it says, I saw these bones in an open valley. In Revelation, they were dead in a street, and in Ezekiel, they were dead. The bones were dead in an open valley, but both dead, but not really dead, just spiritually dead. Revelation verse 11:11, it says, after 3.5 days, the spirit of life entered into them. The spirit of life from Elohim entered into them, and they stood upon their feet in great fear. You can connect that with very simply with Ezekiel chapter 37, verse 10. So I prophesied as he commanded me, and the breath came into them, and they lived and stood on their feet, an exceeding great army. In Ezekiel, he prophesied, and they stood up on their feet. It was an exceeding great army. And in Revelation, it says the spirit of life entered into them. So it's the same thing. And then they both stood on their feet. So you have the two witnesses standing on their feet, and you have these bones standing on their feet. And in Revelation, it says great fear fell on them which saw them. And in Ezekiel, it says a great army. Yes, if an army is standing in front of the enemies who had rejoiced over their death, great fear would come on them. So it's for you to make the connection between the two. To sum this all up, Israel is the story of the Bible. It's not about Christians. It's not about whatever you want it to be. It's a story about these people who have been broken down and who the Most High will raise up eventually. Dead bodies, lying around dead, without jobs, spiritually dead, without any commandments, breaking every commandment they can think of. But yet the Most High has promised a day where he will raise them up. You have the two women, you have the two witnesses, and you have the dry bones in the valley, all representing Israel. These are all the children of Israel. That's it for today. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.